Can you feel the love tonight? What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to a special Valentine's Day video. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there. What do you think of Valentine's Day? What is Valentine's Day? Is it a scam? I don't know. Today I'm talking about my top 10 favorite romantic films. Now, every single movie essentially has romantic elements to it, or there's a romantic relationship. But for this video and these movies, I'm focusing on movies where romance is like the center or the main concepts or ideas of the movie. You'll see dramas, movies that got nominated for Best Picture, rom-coms, animated movies. This list encapsulates everything. So coming in at number 10 for me is going to be Lady and the Tramp. Now, this is just such a sweet, sweet movie. I watched it, or rewatched it back in May. I watched like Star Wars movies all of May 4th, and I wanted to like watch something Disney related at night, so I watched Lady and the Tramp. I hadn't seen it in like 10 plus years, and I was like smiling the whole entire time. It's such a cute little movie. The relationship between Lady and Tramp hits you right in the feels. I mean, you really care about these people in the end. People in the end. People in the end.
Can you see the dark? Can you fix a broken? Can you feel the...
People in the end. People in the end. Scene of them sharing the spaghetti dish in the alley as the chef cooks them the food. It's one of the iconic Disney images of all time, I would argue. And this is just a sweet movie. I really do recommend this if you want like a date movie, a cute little Disney movie to watch to pass the time on Valentine's Day. Lady and the Tramp is for you. Coming in at number 9 for me is going to be Punch Drunk Love. Now, this is more of an unconventional romantic film, as it kind of deals with two people on opposite ends of the spectrum and an unconventional romance that shouldn't really work on paper, but it ends up working anyway. Adam Sandler gives his best serious role performance.
I disagree.
Besides Uncut Gems, in my opinion. I mean, it's directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, one of the GOAT directors, I would say. It's definitely not like your basic romantic film, but it touches on romance from a different lens, and I have to appreciate it for that. Also, rest in peace, Philip Seymour Hoffman. He gives a hilarious little side role here. The iconic cuss rant. I think we've all probably seen that video.
Hey, shut up! Will you shut up? Shut up! Shut up!
He goes off in this movie. But yeah, Adam Sandler and Emily Watson, I believe is her name, have great chemistry on screen, and the final shot of this movie is romance. Coming in at number 8 for me is going to be the recently released Palm Springs. Now, while this is essentially a take on Groundhog Day, it's still a very romantic film as it takes place at a wedding venue, and the two characters played by Christine Milioti and Andy Samberg have a very great romantic chemistry. You don't think they're gonna get together at first, then stuff happens throughout the movie. You can watch it for yourself, see what happens. And I just think that it's such a clever look at romance as these two people get stuck in the same day over and over in a time loop. So they go to resent each other, then they have a little bond that forms, but it's just a very clever movie, and the Lonely Island's behind it, so it's got a little bit of humor to it as well. But like, it's a wild movie. There's time travel, there's romance, there's J.K. Simmons running around with a bow and arrow. A lot of crazy stuff goes down in this movie, but at the end of the day, it's a sweet romantic film that actually pulled on my heartstrings in the end. And I know I say that a lot, but it seriously did. Like, I was like, oh man, that had me smiling in the end. I really like the way it ended. Coming in at number 7 for me is going to be a Best Picture winner, Casablanca. This movie came out in 1942. It's going to be the oldest movie on the list. Many would claim it to be the greatest romantic film of all time. Rick Blaine, played by Humphrey Bogart, is this man who's kind of heartbroken. He's been left by this lover, played by Ingrid Bergman, and she returns. Casablanca is also just a very iconic movie when it comes to quotes, like when Rick Blaine's sitting there and Sam is walking up behind him playing the piano. He says, "Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine." It might not end the way you think. You gotta watch it and see what happens, but here's looking at you, kid. I think it's just a classic romantic film and one of the best made movies of all time. Coming in at number 6 for me is going to be Silver Linings Playbook, and this movie came out in 2012. You got Bradley Cooper playing someone with bipolar disorder, and then you've got Jennifer Lawrence, who's also a little cuckoo, and they just have this very unconventional romance yet again. But it's a very satisfying movie, like the way that they train for the dance sequence and just seeing their relationship develop throughout the film. It shouldn't work, but it may or may not work. There's a lot of fighting scenes, there's a lot of romantic scenes, and all around it's just one of the most clever films from 2012. I think Bradley Cooper gives one of his best performances. Robert De Niro's even in here, and you get a look at at his parents' relationship compared to his relationship. So there's a lot to dive into here when it comes to romance, and I recommend this movie if you haven't seen it. It's very original, and I need to rewatch it soon. Coming in at number 5 for me is going to be the romantic comedy Crazy Stupid Love with Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, Julianne Moore. The list goes on and on. This is a star-studded cast, and this is an extremely clever movie. Like, I watched it for the first time a few months ago. I was really digging it. It was funny. I like Steve Carell and Ryan Ryan Gosling's relationship, and then at about the midway point, something happens that shook me to the core. I was like, this is awesome. I did not expect this from a rom-com movie. It was like something out of like a like a Tarantino or Nolan movie when it comes to that level of twist. Honestly, I was shook. The aftermath of the reveal was absolutely great to see. This movie has a ton of payoff in the end. It really is a super funny movie, especially when it comes to Steve Carell's comedic chops. We already know that from The Office. This is a feel-good, lighthearted rom-com movie that I highly recommend to anyone if you want a romantic film to watch on Valentine's Day. And it's one of my favorite rom-coms, I would say. It's working its way up the list. I need to buy it on Blu-ray still, but highly recommend. 2 thumbs up for Crazy Stupid Love. Coming in at number 4 is going to be another Best Picture winner, Titanic. Yep, Titanic made this list, one of the classic movies ever, the Best Picture winner, one of the box office kings for quite some time. And I didn't watch this movie for the first time till like January of last year, I think. So it's been over a year now. But it's 3 hours and 15 minutes. It's an epic, directed by James Cameron, obviously visually stunning. But the relationship between Jack and Rose is really the foundation of the movie, as the story is essentially told from the perspective of old lady Rose. And yes, it can seem a little cheesy at times, but it works. This romance is sold because it's 3 hours in the making. And so by the end of the movie, you're kind of heartbroken for the guy. Granted, there's a ton of room, I still think, for him to fit on the float as well, or not the float, but like the debris, the wood, whatever you want to call it.
I would have shared the raft.
I think most people would say it's one of the best romance films of all time, but it also has an adventure aspect to it, so that's why I like it so much. It's not just about the romance, but the romance is essentially the key idea behind it all. Coming in at number 3 for me is going to be The Big Sick. Now, I saw this movie in theaters back in 2017, and it was like the big breakthrough for Kumail Nanjiani, who co-wrote the movie and is really a passion project for him. He kills it. He's hilarious in this movie. This movie is so funny. The way that he's trying to break from the norms that his family has set for him. It's such a realistic look at romance, as there's scenes where there's arguments. You see the frustration from Kumail Nanjiani, and there's a scene where he's going through a drive-thru that makes me laugh every single time I see it.
Put 4 slices of cheese on a burger.
It definitely warms your heart in the end, and it's one of those rom-coms that I want to keep revisiting because it's so well written. It actually got nominated for an Oscar. So anytime a rom-com gets an Oscar nom for a script, it's usually pretty dang good. So The Big Sick is one of my sleeper picks on this list, one of the most slept on rom-coms from recent years. So coming in number 2 is going to be A Star is Born, starring Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. Now, I think Bradley Cooper should have won the Oscar for Best Actor. I've said that countless times here on the channel, but I stand by it. He kills it, and the way that he suffers through addiction and just making all these mistakes, it's very realistic and gut-wrenching. His relationship with Lady Gaga, it's so charming at first, and then you see that the addiction side of it really causes a downfall. And when Jack is in rehab and he has the scene with Lady Gaga, the tears, the waterworks going, I swear. A Star is Born in Lady Gaga's character, and Bradley Cooper's on the way out. The way Lady Gaga sings that song at the end, and then it cuts to the flashback of them playing it together on the piano, it's absolutely heartbreaking. I wish it won Best Picture. It's a damn shame it didn't. But coming in at number 1, taking the top spot, has to be La La Land for various reasons. I think this movie should have won Best Picture. I still really enjoy Moonlight, but La La Land is a spectacular musical, a once in a decade or every other decade type movie. Damien Chazelle, you won the Oscar. You did it beautifully. This is your masterpiece, I would say. Whiplash is right close to it, but everyone will always remember La La Land. It captures the struggle of having this romance or having a true passion in life, and which ones you're going to pursue, how one might get in the way of the other. Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone portray both of these characters to perfection, as Sebastian or Seb just wants the jazz club, and Emma Stone or Mia just wants to be an actress. And they are in love, they truly are, but their paths might not align at all times, and it's something that everyone thinks about at some point in their life. Truly a heartbreaking movie, and the final 10 minutes where you get like what could have been, that scene, oh my gosh, it's so it's beautiful. This movie is a masterpiece in my opinion. I don't use that word often, but it also holds a special place in my heart because I saw it in theaters with my girlfriend about a week and a half after we started dating, and we're still dating to this day, so it's almost like one of our movies. We always listen to the soundtrack together in the car, and we always say like, here's to the fools who dream. There's a lot to love about this movie. The soundtrack's bopping, the cinematography banging, and the I was about to do the Drake and Josh bit, but I just ran out of breath.
The popcorn, dare I say, poppin'.
But yeah, La La Land is a perfect romance film in my opinion. So yeah, that's gonna do it for my top 10 favorite romantic films of all time. Definitely hit the like button, like I said, comment down below your favorite romantic films. Happy Valentine's Day, hope you guys had a good one, eat some candy, doing whatever you do. If it's just another day to you, I totally understand. It's kind of a big scam, honestly. What are we talking about? Is it truly the Hallmark company behind everything to make these cheesy movies and cards and sell candy? perhaps. But thank you all for watching. Definitely hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.